Oh. Are we going to go with that? What's going on here? Hello, can you all hear me? Am I actually live? What's going on? Huh. Can you all hear me? Make sure you can hear me. Like my the screen is dimmed for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. Oh well, I don't need to look at me anyhow. Hopefully the image is showing up for you all because I do not know why it is suddenly dimmed. That's bothering me a little, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. Yes, we can see and hear you. Awesome. So we'll just run with it. I don't know what's going on my side. Hello and welcome everyone. Happy Sunday. I see we already got a full house in here. If you are here, give us the thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. We got a lot of people, a lot of returners. If you're new, if this is your first time here, let us know. We'd always love to know when we got new viewers. Jade, so glad you could make it. I think I survived okay last week when you had to be busy with family. Hope you had fun with the family. I'd say pour me some, but the rocket fuel you drink. That may be the case, Immortal. That may be the case. Brewing some tea. A little late for coffee for me. Actually during the week, I've been doing this thing where I try to not drink coffee past 3 or 4. I'm not doing it super good job, but I am trying to stop around 3 or 4. It's just something new I'm trying. Also gives me a good reason to drink teas actually, because I do like oolong tea and green tea, so that's always a good one there. What is this? Cast Iron and Chaos Man. Hey, it's been a while. Hope you are doing good. Let's say I appreciate your series on food magic. Thank you very much. I enjoy kitchen witchery, and honestly, what Jade has been doing to help the channel and put up more and more on those food magics, it has been a real blessing because it allows me to focus on videos like the Angels, the Demon series and stuff. But her and I collab on those pretty well, and I think she's been doing fantastic. So it is always good to know those are appreciated. Thank you very much, mate, and hope you are well. I was actually thinking of you just the other day. I was rearranging my office, and I actually still have that piece of cast iron you sent me, mate. So thank you. Mugs up to you. Hope you are doing well. You moved to New York a year ago and have been quite busy on your channel's been going, man. It has. Hope it's doing well. I know I've been enjoying it when I get a chance to watch it. But you moved to New York. Wow. I don't know if I could handle it. So I have to ask, are you like in New York City, New York, or are you like out in more of the country, New York? Just random curiosity there, because I don't think I could handle the city. I've been to New York City. I don't think I could do that. It's a personal preference thing, though. I know that there's a lot of people who absolutely adore it. Let's see, Violet Star. Sorry, I've been missing. It's not on purpose for sure. Oh, no worries there. We all got lives happening. We got things going. Like the supporter community, I actually missed a live stream with them because it was the holidays. So it happens. It does. Speaking of which, we did just release the evocation class for those who haven't heard. So it's live and up at the school at workingdragonmystic.com. I'm not currently filming anything else right now. I'm taking a break from that so I can focus on other things through the holidays, namely family. We do have the supporter community. If you are interested in supporting the channel, over at workingdragonmystic.com, click on that little tab. It says Working Dragon Mystic Layer Community, I think is what it says. Click that. It'll send you over there, and I think it's for like a little, just $10. You can support the channel. You get access to supporter-only content, supporter-only live streams. Some of those live streams are actually workshops where I do teach. So if you show up, you get to learn straight from me during the workshops live. All that at no extra charge for just supporting the community over there. And to that, I'm super hyped about this. I am so hyped. I am actually going to be allowed to put at least two. I got 2 of the higher ruler videos approved to put over there for the supporter community. I got that approved by those two rulers, and I will be putting those probably around the new year. I got to get them made. So if you're interested in the high rulers or you're interested in supporting the channel, check it out. We do actually, the next live workshop it's going to be several workshops actually. There's no way I can cram it into one live stream, but it will be a rune workshop. It's going to be on the runes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you've wanted to learn the runes, and maybe that'll be a good reason to support. I do know, but consider that. And I know Jade has been putting in a lot of kitchen witch supporter only content over there that YouTube is a little sketchy on. Sometimes they get iffy, so we've been putting it over there also. So massive amount of perks all over there for the supporters, and we do thank you for your support. We are actually trying to get the locals community up to 50 total supporters, because that's just going to cut us loose from a lot of stuff. It's going to give us a lot more freedom, allow us to do a lot more things, and that. And for those who have asked, yes, we are over at Rumble, and I am getting in the habit of uploading videos at Rumble more regularly. So consider that if you enjoy the Rumble app or computer. I do it on the computer. I don't really do apps on phone, but that's me. Most people do it like it on the phone. So we are in all those places. Now, back to the coffee. Hopefully y'all have been doing well. You work in Bremerton, biggest city in New York that has ever heard of. Okay, I have heard of it. Cast iron. That's amazing, mate. That is amazing. Happy for you. Let's see. Jay dropped the community link there. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Also, hey, get some people some Working Dragon Mystic coffee cups. Great Christmas gifts. Or some of the tapestries. Let's see. Immortal, no way. I missed those old videos. I can't wait for the new ones. Yeah, sorry about that, Immortal. I wasn't happy to have to take them down, but I did it out of respect. The Dragons requested it, and you know that sometimes to be respectful, you got to do what you don't want to do. Let's see. Rumble link. There we go. Let's see what we got. Gray asks, you've said that you have 2 Guardian Dragons. How does one acquire 2? Are there requirements for getting 2? No, it's not like a requirement. It's not even something you can seek to do. Some people end up with 2, and it's usually when it's 2, that's because they work as a very distinctive pair. And I actually, you want my honest opinion, I would recommend not having 2. The 2 that I have are twins, and they constantly swap names. So they refer to themselves as yin and yang, and I couldn't tell you which one's which. They both answer to both. And then there's days they won't answer. So, and there's actually days where I actually have to wonder if these 2 dragons is one dragon pretending to be 2 just to F with me. I really do. And they are a handful. I love them. I adore them. But there are days where I find myself thinking it would have been easier if just one. Because it's just one of those things. It just happens. It's an anomaly. That's why, honestly, if you notice, I'll say my guardian dragon. I don't make it plural often because it is such an anomaly. But it's not an impossibility. But it's also, it can be a complication. It's not something like, if honestly, I wouldn't set out to do it. And when you do the guardian dragon ritual, the guardian you get is the guardian you get. I got stuck with these 2 nutheads. And I don't know why. It's never been one of those things. I've known a few people who do. But those were the cards I was dealt. It's not like there's a specific way to do it or change it or requirements to it. Nor does it give a gold star of any kind. There's nothing special about it either. So literally the only thing that it adds is headaches and trouble, honestly. They're more of having 2 is more of a headache than anything. They are rambunctious as hell, and they make a habit of bothering the piss out of me. But I love them. They are family, and they have like it. It's weird because like, would it make things somewhat easier from day to day to have just one? Absolutely. Um, but at the same time, I don't think I would change it. I really don't. I adore both of them, even though like to this day I couldn't, other than the color patterns on them, I can't tell them apart because their color patterns are essentially just reversed. Um, but it's kind of like having a herd of cats. Every cat you add to the equation is just another problem, but somehow you end up loving that problem all the same. So there we go. What was this, Vitki? Good to see you, Vitki. What elements are associated with creation of art and creativity in general? My co-mage said air, and I was creativity, art, mental facilities, those kinds of things will definitely fall heavily under air. Because it does take mental acuity. I know a lot of people think of air as intelligence, but there is a natural creativity that comes with air also, the ability to see art and to be able to present it. So that mental facility of creativity is represented in air. Um, so there are different aspects of that mental nature, and creativity is definitely one. Like for me, I am very logical. I'm very in my head. I'm very mental. I hope in a good way, but like I'm not good at painting. Like if I have an image in my head, I see what I'm saying. I can't translate that through my hand. Can't get it out. Can't get it out there. But there are other mediums of creativity. And one person actually said that I was very, very creative. And I was like, I don't really see it. And they was like, well, have you ever listened to you talk? It's like, regardless of who you're talking to, you have a way of creating the phrases and everything you need to communicate to them what you're wanting, not only mentally, but emotionally. And she claimed that that's why so many people actually come to me for advice. It's not really that they think I know what I'm talking about, but they know that if they're having a bad day, they're upset or something, somehow, some way, I'm going to guide them through that wisely and make them feel better on the other side. I hope that's true. It sounds pretty cool if it is. I usually think I'm a little harsh with how I approach things, but that's what she told me. And then I guess there is some creativity because I do have to create videos and thumbnails and whatnot. I don't particularly think I'm that good at it as far as like other creators, but yeah, I do what I do. Let's see. Let's see. Chaos. One time I was very depressed and I somehow invoked a bubbly, giggling anime succubus, and I'm not a heavy anime fan and definitely not. I won't read that last word. Actually, that's yeah. I've actually seen people where they would actually create like a thought form or something, and we actually there's a practice even referred to as God form assumption. It's not fully vocation, but you're taking the energetic concepts and ideals of something and surrounding yourself with it. And that in and of itself can change your mood very much the same way music does. So, like, I could totally see an individual who likes anime or a TV show or a movie or whatnot. And if they're depressed, in a bad mood, or having a rough day, they could easily embody that concept of that character to bring up those positive traits that one wants. The kicker is make sure you understand the character because you can also embody the negative traits. So there's that. But it is actually a very possible thing. I've seen it happen a lot. In fact, I used it a lot in my childhood. And hell, I still use it. If I ever have to do anything like, let's say, extremely athletic, and I have a sneaking suspicion the other guy's more athletic, I will probably invoke or embody certain energies of athletic entities to, give myself an edge. Let's see. Dragon of the West, which element is best for focus and concentration? There's not a specific element that's best for focus and concentration, Dragon of the West. Focus and concentration is something you specifically develop, and you develop it in all aspects. So if you're only developing it inside one element, you're only learning to focus and concentrate in that element. You truly need to work with all elements to develop true focus and concentration. Um, Especially in Dragon Magic. If you find yourself in a situation where you can't focus and concentrate, that's actually the area you need to work on. Um, Hands down. It's like I've told my students before. Find that area that is hard and work there. Find that area that's uncomfortable and work there. Adapt and become comfortable there. Hope that makes sense. Let's see. The other thing, yeah, drawing is a skill. Some people come to it easier than others. It's not a skill that I come to easy, and it's a skill that, by and large, it's not one that, as much as I love art and I love to see artwork, and I think it's amazing these people who can draw absolutely amazing things. Um, there are so many things that I would want to put my time to developing and skills learning before that, and that's again that's a personal thing. Um, But yeah, I would say art isn't a gift. I mean, we all know that. Well, I don't really believe in the concept of gifts in general. Gifts, even metaphysically, is a dirty word in my mind because it makes people believe that if they ain't born able to do it, they can't do it. And I just find that as horse shit. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Doing it in your head's plenty sufficient there, cast iron. Absolutely. Sounds like you got to get a hold on it. Where are we as an artist? I'm offended when people think I have a gift. It takes all my years to correct. Let's agree. Can you charge something with lunar energy inside a house, like without the effects or contact the moonlight? Absolutely. So, okay, that's actually a great question, Gree. So, Gree's asking. And I don't know if I spoke it well enough. Sometimes I mumble when I read these questions. My apologies. Is wanting to know if you can charge something with solar or lunar energy with it in your house. Okay. So, right here in the office, right now, because we're filming, I got the two filming lights on. By the way, people, I remember to turn them on before the camera this time. And then I got these two windows completely closed around me, no moonlight coming in. I need some lunar energy. What do I do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You actually would set up a ritual. You could draw a circle and you put your focus on the moon. Visualize the moon. Focus on the moon. And as you do that, reach up with your tool, your hand, whatever you want, and draw that energy down to the circle. The circle is a container. It's going to help you raise that energy. Well, we use raise not as a elevation point, but a mathematical increase. So you're increasing the amount of energy in that circle of that particular type, if that makes sense. So if you're doing that and you're drawing that lunar energy into the circle, you have lunar energy in the circle. You don't need a lunar rock. Because again, energy is not necessarily generated by the rock. The rock is associated with lunar energy, but it's not the sole source of lunar energy in the multiverse, okay? So just draw that lunar energy down into your circle. And I do, if you're new at this, definitely do use a circle because it's going to let you collect the energy easier. And when charging things, I try to use a circle anyways, just because I don't want to waste any energy, let it bleed out. But once you have that collected, take the object in your hand. I got some glasses case right here. We're going to use this as our demo item tonight. Take that in your hand, pull that lunar energy into you or to your hands, and visualize it feeling that item. So you're saturated in that circle, that fill that whole circle like a swimming pool. And now you're sitting in it and just force it in there. Just visualize it saturating that item. And you can have this done in like 5 minutes. There are people who will waste days waiting on a full moon to charge an item. And I have tested this. I can charge in 5 minutes an item that has more lunar oomph than something under a full supermoon. And people who've practiced years and years and years and swear by, you have to wait for the moon. It has to be in the right spot. You have to put it outside. It has to be totally exposed. They can't tell the difference. Seriously. Um, so I prefer the charging it method, the manual charging, because I ain't got time to wait on the moon. I ain't got time to wait on the earth to get in position. I ain't got that time. I gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And if I can knock something out in 5-10 minutes instead of taking all that or all month, however long it's going to take, that's great. If that's what you're wanting. Now, there are some processes and some rituals, which part of the ritual is about the timing. And you see this in Norse magic. This is something we're going to be going over in the Norse magic course. So in the Norse magic course, or in Norse magic, they will charge moon water and sun water via the god and goddess Suna and Mani. But just charging, it's not just about setting it out in the sun and say, here, charge that, here, charge. It's actually about a dedication process as well as a charging process that's done. And the dedications are traditionally done at sunrise or at night when the moon is up. So because of that, since the dedications need to be positioned there for those specific entities, not the star in the sky or the rock, because it's the entity's dedication ritual, those would be aligned with the times. Does that make sense? I hope so. I may a little bit off course from your question, but I hope that made sense. All right. They're glitching or falling behind the visual. That's possible. There might be an internet issue or something on my end, your end, because like I'm a little cloudy here. Also, if you haven't, give us a thumbs up, people. Oh, and do remember, if you give a super chat of $5 or more, you'll be included in spell work for health, prosperity, and well-being. And for the rest of this month, we'll also put in peace and holiday cheer to attempt to counter crazy of the holidays. Attempt to counter. Hopefully we do, but we're going to attempt it. So we're going to include that in there with the $5, and that can be with or without a question. Doesn't matter. And you can also use super chats to flash your question up big on the screen because it shows this big notification. Make sure I see it in case, because we are busy tonight, which is amazing. I'm so happy to have so many of you here. By the way, you like my holiday background? Let's see here. Vicky, does Maelstrom have anything to do with creation of art, or is it creation of literal matter and energy that doesn't yet exist? Because technically art uses materials that exist. Technically, no, Maelstrom isn't creation. It is, let's see, I'm going to try and dumb this down because I ain't got time to describe the Maelstrom in detail. Think of Maelstrom as inevitable, absolute, must happen, always will happen, change. It is change in its most primal form. It's neither good, it's neither bad, it just is change. It is that unstoppable force. And that's what makes the Maelstrom so dangerous for most people to work with. Human beings do not like change. They don't like it at all. Even if that change is something they're looking for, they want this one change to happen, but they expect everything else to stay the same. 99.99999% of the time, you can't make a change here without something else here changing. And the Maelstrom, it'll drop a building on you if you try to resist change. It really will. It can get messy. So it deals heavily in change. But we'll be talking about the Maelstrom in 103. It's a terrifying element. It really is, but it is also such a powerfully therapeutic element, and it can be so massively impactful in a good way to a magician's life if they can use it correctly. Hey, mugs up to you, Pop Smoking Heathen. Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. When you do all the good spell mojo, I'm trying to buy a house. So good vibes appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Pop Smoking Heathen. I hope you are doing well too, you and your family. And yeah, let's see if we can add that in there for you, mate. No problem. If are you trying to buy it before the new year? Because if you are, I'll make sure to get that. I'll go ahead and do it this Monday. Well, yeah, you put it with. Yeah, I'll do it Monday when I do the Monday spell working, because that was part of your super chat. It's super good to finally be able to be here in the live stream. Hey, man, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're able to make it. We've missed you. We really have. Let's see, agree. I can tell you've been drinking a lot of coffee. Actually, it's not the coffee. It's I got some sleep. Many of you know, like I've been working. I've been tired. I've been doing things. I actually slept last night, and I slept good. So I'm just hyper. Also, after the holidays, like I didn't stick to my carnivore plan during the holiday well. And I didn't cheat big time. Like I had just a few cheats, but those few cheats just like sapped my energy. And I've been eating a lot cleaner since, and I'm finally starting to get that energy back. So yeah, we're going to get right back to Hyper Drake. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, because Hyper Drake is, well, I'm hyper and I'm fun, but my mouth also runs faster than if I have a filter. You know, sometimes my brain will catch something, but sometimes it don't. So fair warning. But there we go. Yeah. Let's see. In Dragon Magic, Maelstrom is an energy current. In fact, one of the higher rulers deals directly with it. And that is something that will be talked about either when the dragons allow me to post more on the channel about it, or in 103. I know it's for sure going to be in 103. I don't know when or if the dragons let me post more directly here on the channel. I keep bugging them. Because I love the higher rulers. Angela, good to see you. Let's see. Viper Trent. I feel like I'm spiritually at a halt until astral projection. Think that's odd because I just feel I have gotten signs for me to go deeper. I need to master that. I mean, yeah, definitely apply some work to it. I have been asked if I plan to do a astral journey work course. I don't know. I want to do something. The problem with astral travel is many of you have heard me about the evocation course. There's a lot of back and forth and discussions that I do with evocation that made that course hard to film. And it's actually even more with journey work and stuff. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do the astral travel and journey work courses more as live workshop kind of things, or if I can think of a good, clear way to do the course itself. And that is part of what makes astral travel so hard, especially from books or courses, is like you can't really demo it. Let's be honest. Like I can sit here and walk you through it step by step, right? And I can put every step in there. But in a video course, we can't, bicker back and forth and troubleshoot. And then if I demo it, let's be honest, you got me sitting here going, and that's boring as shit. That don't make good TV. I ain't that good looking. So, I would encourage you. I mean, if you got that feeling set on you and you're trying to get that, I would definitely work on it. Check out some of our videos, work with an Astral Sanctum. I don't know if you're in Dragon Magic 101 or 102, but the dragons in both of those can help with it somewhat. Several of the entities in the evocation course can also help with astral work. Yeah, so those would be some tips. But I'm trying to figure that out because that is one of those arcane pillars that the dragons talk about all the time. And it is an important one. And it's that weird one that it's hard to explain. But once it's like not hard to do. It's just hard to wrap a head around. Once you wrap your head around it, it's easier to do. Um, so I get you. I get you. It's a tricky one, totally. And I wish you the best, man. And hopefully I'll figure out the puzzles on my end as a teacher, so that I can help you all instead of, like I said, that one-on-one really helps me a lot with some of this stuff. And I don't have that when it comes to YouTube. That's why I'm thinking about doing it as a live stream or workshop or something, where at the bare minimum, you all could type and ask your questions while we're going through it. That way we can try and troubleshoot it. Which those will either be over at the school or over at the supporters area, depending on where it goes. But right now there's not one scheduled because I'm still working out the details and bugs on it. Let's see. Let's see. It's hard to grasp the reality of it until you achieve it. It really is. It's that thing that's like, it's like, how do you really put it into words until you experience it? It is kind of tricky. And that's kind of the thing. Like, I'm really good at explaining things, but my students will tell you, like, if you just sit me down and say, explain astral travel, explain soul travel, I can try to logically explain the mechanical side. But the emotional sensation of it, I've never met anyone who can genuinely convey that. It's one of those things that has to be experienced. Much like a waterfall. People can look at pictures of waterfalls. They're absolutely gorgeous, but there's no picture on this planet, not even a video, that will give you the same impact and emotional sensation as standing there before that waterfall. It's kind of that same thing. If you've never tried it and you're interested, we do have a video on easy beginner astral travel and astral sanctums here on this channel, Gree. I'd go check those out to get you started. All the tips and tricks I use are in there, for beginners especially. Rainbow, that southern charm always works. It's ways, bro, don't worry. Thank you very much. And see, that's another thing. Like, if I was to demo astral travel, you don't get my southern charm because I just sit there. There's no talking. There's no southern accent. There's just an old graying mage sitting in a chair staring at you. And I don't say that negatively. I love my gray. I love my salt and pepper. But then I've been going gray since I was 13, so that wasn't a big deal. I knew I'd be going gray. Viper Trent, thank you very much. No problem, Viper. No problem. I wish I had a much better answer. I do. And the best I can say is it's something as a teacher I'm working on. I constantly work to try and improve my ability to teach and share information. And as you all know, when it comes to YouTube, me and Tech don't get along well. So anyone who's followed this channel, you've seen the leaps and bounds we've made from where I started. And I'm slowly learning different things. Like, I actually troubleshooted something for someone the other day, and like, we were done and it just kind of hit us. It's like, wait, Drake was able to troubleshoot something? What just happened here? So I'm working on getting better as a teacher and as a content creator, which is still weird to say the words, I'm a content creator. That still hasn't sunk in yet. See, Karma, hello, Drake. I got into evocation course and it's insanely good. Can't wait for my first evocation. Hey, Karma, awesome. Congrats. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Thank you very much. In fact, we are actually the Spirit Codex. And probably before January, you're going to see some new additions to the Spirit Codex, as promised, already coming. We are planning to add more to that codex. I got a few projects in hand. In fact, the supporter only group, we are going to start doing during the supporter only live chats. I'm actually going to start discussing some of my research that I'm working on. Many of you know I've been tinkering with a new project with the dragons. And though I can't go into details and share it fully, they have allowed me to say that I can share some of my starter notes to give you an idea of what I'm working on and tinkering with before those full path workings come out. because like this is something I'm experimenting with right now, just getting started. So I got to work all the way through all this and collect the notes and everything before I even manage to film the course. But that is something that they have said that I am allowed to talk some more about with the supporters. And I'm super looking forward to that because it deals with the Cliff-Oth and the Tree of Life. And it's probably going to be 2 separate path workings. I don't think it's going to crammed into one. I'm thinking it's going to end up being 2. Because it'd be really hard to cram those into one. I really think. Let's see, Vicky. No, literally it's basic step 1. Close your eyes. Step 2, astral project. It kind of is. It really kind of is. But getting the beginner to transition from step 1 to step 2 weirdly is a hard thing. And I mean, I suffered from that same thing. Like I had a teacher and they're like, well, you sit down, you relax, you close your eyes and you project. It's like, okay, yeah, but how do I project? So yeah, there was this communication problem. And one of the things I've told people is, start with your sanctum or start with your house. Literally sit down, relax, close your eyes, visualize the room you're in, and then don't try to get out of your body, because when you're astral projecting, where your thought goes, where your conscious goes, is where you go. So if you're trying to get out of your body, your focus is actually on your body. This is why people have trouble getting out of their body. Don't think about getting out of your body. Just pick a spot in your room, like right there. There's my bookshelf. I would think of me standing in front of that bookshelf, and your consciousness will astrally move over to that bookshelf and start to use your arcane senses in the astral projection to view the room around you. Now, some people find a hard time because when they turn around, there's their body and they're back in their body. Okay, if that's the case, not a problem. Pick a different room in the house from where you are and project directly to that location and begin to move around so you don't see your body. And you have to maintain your focus the whole time. If your focus breaks, you snap back to your body. Also, all these horror stories about snapping back to your body unprepared, don't worry about them. Not an issue. It is true you can have what they call astral whiplash, but it's not this horror story people describe it of. It is literally just an energetic kind of wonkiness, and a very simple grounding and centering will fix it. If you ain't got time to ground and center, seriously, go get you a beverage like water, coffee, tea, whatever you want to drink, and drink it. Something as so common as making you some food or fixing a beverage and drinking it will re-solidify that energy shift. It is that simple. But that's the Cliff Notes version. Let's see here. Agree. Are the videos on the higher rulers for supporters only, or will they eventually be put on the YouTube for everyone? At this point in time, Gray, only. I do not know if they're going to let me approve them for everyone on YouTube yet. I was a little surprised to get this because, like, I've been pestering them a lot. Okay, I'm not going to lie. They're probably really getting tired of me pestering them. I'm expecting to get dragon smacked at some point here, but so far they haven't dragon smacked me yet. I wouldn't blame them if they did, but still. So they have given me the permission to begin to discuss these topics on the supporter only area. And I'm surprised at that because I was actually getting to the point where I was afraid they're going to wait until 103 entirely. Because one of the concepts that they're worried about is, like, when I originally talked about them, even though I told people don't jump ahead, don't work ahead, people were jumping ahead and causing very, very bad effects in their life. Very bad. So the dragons had me take them down until, as they put it at that time, the tools were available that they could safely make the choice to work with them. And if they'd done something stupid and jumped ahead, then the tools were available, but they made that choice. Then it's 100% on them. So I was under the impression they would wait till 103 because 103 is where those tools would be available. So I'm actually a little surprised they're going to let me begin talking about it here. So I'm hoping that we will transition from here to YouTube, either slightly before 103 or at least after 103. That's my hopes. But that and $1 won't even get you a cup of coffee these days. You know what I mean? But I will be honest and say that's my hopes at this time. I can only say I know for sure they're going to be supporters. Um, hello, since I was 13, you were a young mage. No, I wasn't a mage at 13. I was going gray at 13. Oh, I was a handful at 13. I'm amazed my mom retained what sanity she did having to raise me. I really am. Let's see. Agree. I'll definitely go check those videos out because I've been traveling to the Sanctum, but that's about it. Um, hey, the Sanctum's a great starting place. Great, it really is. Um, let's see. I've been working on my meditation. That is awesome to hear. I love to hear that, Brandon. I do. Too many people avoid meditation. It is the bedrock of everything we do metaphysically. And it is something that even to this day, I still work on my meditation skills all the time because it is foundational to literally every other practice. So good on you, mate. Good on you. Too many people overlook it. Like I know so many old time magicians, they get to a point where they start not working on meditation. Their meditation practices devolve and everything else starts to spiral out of control. And way too often when they're talking to their friends and it's that thing, it's like, well, how's your meditation been going? And like, well, actually I haven't done it. And they start that meditation practice again. And inside a week, everything fixes itself. It is foundational to every other practice. So good on you. Don't lose that. Keep that up. Keep working on that meditation. So mugs up to you for the meditation. Too many people think it's boring, useless, don't want to do it, and they skip it. Awesome. I love meditation. I don't know why people say it's boring. I know a lot of people who teach it boring. That's one reason I made that meditation course the way I did. I wanted to show the fun side of meditation. I wanted to show how versatile it was in the meditation course because I love me some meditation. Let's see. Making small progress. Things are getting there, but slowly. It can take time. It can. Can you work with specialty dragons without working with the rulers first or not? I mean, the first 4 rulers, not the rest. Technically, okay, so this is kind of a weird one because there, on one hand, it's yes. So there are certain specialty dragons that the rulers have given access and have allowed to be worked with in some manner. But here's the thing, and this, like, if you look at Torgra's a good one. We have a video on Torgra here on this channel. If you work with Torgra as a specialty dragon, do you have to first have worked with Coralegra? Technically, no, but the moment you call Torgra in, Coralegra's energy is going to be there too. So in some ways, it's actually impossible to work with a specialty dragon without coming into contact with the ruler. And that can be problematic. But at the same time, it's also dialed back because of those special permissions for whatever reason that they have gotten. And so far, if I'm not mistaken, Torgra and is it X-Boon Wells, the only 2 that's on the channel. The Solstice Dragons also kind of have this but here's the kicker. The Solstice Dragons actually have a window of time that you can work with them, which Yanali, the Winter Solstice Dragon, we got a video coming out. It's either this week or next week, specifically on Yanali, that goes into when and how to work with her. So that would be a specialty dragon that sidesteps like Torga the need. But most, I'd say 99% of the specialty dragons, you have to go through the rulers first. Good question. Good question. Let's see. Dragon of the West. I have an easily distracted mind. I can concentrate, but In an instant, I can shift to something else and focus on that before remembering. How does that affect astral travel? Your astral travel will break and you'll snap back. It's that simple. Again, the reason meditation is foundational is you need that discipline and you need that focus. You need focus and concentration and discipline. Discipline is what lets you lock your mind in. Discipline can be trained. It can absolutely be trained. But you have to be willing to do it. As someone like me, who my brain is going 25 miles an hour or faster every day, there's like 50 things buzzing through my head. I get distracted very, 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 very easy. And my friends who have conversations with me will tell you, like, I will just have a random thought and spurt it. And they're like, where the hell did that come from? But to me, it makes absolute sense. However, during astral travel or anything like that, I literally have to pull my focus in onto that one thing only, and I have to hold it there. If I lose hold of it, the whole thing stops. I have to start all over. And it has taken me years, but that discipline can be developed if you're wanting to develop it. But it takes a lot of work. There's a reason, like if I told people, if you want to get into magic, be ready to do the work. Magic doesn't make your life easier. It can make it more abundant. It can help you through different things. But magic itself is a lot of work to study and practice. Let's see. Very boom. See, where are we? Let's see. Small Bean, been working with Cora Allegra, spent some time with some friends, did some homework, got a crow in Star Stable. All right. Who are the 9? I don't know if I'm technically. I got a video on the 9 rulers. Go check that one out. That would be the way to go. I can't go into detail on the higher rulers, but I can. And I can't give you the correct spelling for the names at this time. My apologies. Again, it goes to the respecting the ruler's wishes on this. But so the rulers, or the first 4 rulers, are Terrafana, Cora Allegra, Zephyr Seal, and Ingus Salor. The higher rulers would be Nocturnarask, Luminascra, Primordia, Tempestra, and Zagarath. Wait a minute. There's a solstice and equinox dragons. Yes, there are. There are solstice and equinox dragons, and I am going to be doing videos on them as we go through the year. Many of you will know, I think it was last year, I did a video on celebrating Yule with the dragons, and I just kind of glanced over a dragon called Yunali, an absolutely gorgeous dragon. I described what she looked like in that video. But I didn't go into detail on her specifically because it was a much broader video. You guys have made it very well known that you want to know more about Yunoli. So that is something that I have been working with Terrafana with, because Yunoli is an earth dragon. And we've been discussing this, and I've talked with Yunoli, and this is definitely a video that we want to do. And since I suck at doing Yule videos, I was like, you know what? The solstice, that is Yule. That's when you work with her. Let's do this. And so, yeah. And it's either this week or next week you will be seeing that Yunoli video. So keep your eyes out. Because she's actually one of the ones that you can only work with her during a very tight window, starting at the solstice. Are there already other videos on the solstice and equinox dragon, or are they coming? They're coming soon. So I mentioned Yunoli in passing in another video, but at this time I had not done other ones. I think I meant to, but then with the move and the course, it's just I just blanked on practically all holidays. Luckily, we now have Jade. Jade loves holidays. And Jade is really good at being, hey, Drake, have you thought of doing a holiday video for this? Thanks, Jade. So Jade will keep me in line, people. Jade will keep me in line and help me remember those holidays. If I remember correctly, the solstice dragon for winter is under the earth ruler. Correct. That is correct, Karma. That is correct. The solstice dragon is under earth. That is absolutely correct. Um, let's see. Pipe smoking heathen. Dang, man. You're going to pay my light bill today. Thank you very much. Mugs up to you. Let's see. And for that, he says, Magic is a ton of work, but oh, how sweet the rewards are. Amen to that, my man. I honestly, life is so much more interesting with magic. It really is. It can cause problems. It can be a pain sometimes, but I love it. And if you do your work and you apply it, it can make your life so much better. But if you get lazy, it can make your life worse. See, Dragon of the West. As I recall, we've answered this question for you a few times, my man. Dragons are different from other entities in a few factors. First off, they're one of the only entities I've ever encountered that can truly, absolutely ignore energy. They can just ignore it. It'll have no effect on them, which does make them extremely dangerous should any other entity have an issue with them, because most other entities use energy as some form of defense mechanism or combat. And if you can just ignore it, what are going to do? That also means they can't be bound, they can't be protected against, and all these other things. But they're also extremely old primordial style entities, and you don't see a lot of these. Now, I'm not saying dragons are the oldest primordial entities out there. There are plenty of magicians who do indeed think this, and there's plenty of evidence to potentially support that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying those upper tiers, they're definitely some of the oldest, but I don't know what all the oldest would be. I do know that they predate many of the pantheons, aka gods and goddesses, or angels, or so-called demons that most magicians work with, according to those other pantheons. They will flat out tell you that they do predate them. But then, since time is a little wonky and not measured the same way, it's also practically impossible to get a how much older reading on it. Let's agree. I have a big problem with distracting songs in my head during meditation. It's nearly impossible for me to get them out. So what would you suggest? Honestly, that's one where you have to, it takes practice to quiet the mind. Now, I go two ways on this, Greg, fully two ways. I will either try to quiet my mind to get it out, or I'm going to lean into it. And sometimes, like if it's a truly, truly annoying song, to pick one that actually drives me up the wall when it gets stuck in my head. Two, actually. One is Let It Go. The other one is Mariah Carey's freaking Christmas song gets stuck in my head every time of year. I don't know about now. And yeah, the easiest way I found to do that if I can't clear my mind, because there are days that no matter how long I've been at this, I just can't clear my mind. I will either lean into it, or the case like those two songs where they just grate my nerves, I don't ever really want to listen to them. I will purposely put music in my head that is not that. I will swap the tracks, as it were, and I'll swap it for a track that supports the work of meditation I'm doing. And I have a very large music library to choose from. So that's what I would do. I'd actually go through your music library and find a song, playlist, or something that supports what you're wanting to do, and build a playlist. Let's say you're wanting to do 10 or 20 minutes of meditation. Get a good solid, 10 or 20-minute playlist of a collection of songs that kind of generate that emotion of the purpose of your meditation you want to do, and literally put your earbuds in and play that to help sidestep and move that away. And interestingly enough, what you want to find as you do this, it's going to be easier to literally just change tracks in your mind without even having a playlist to do it. But also, before you do the playlist, I would try to quiet your mind. I'd practice quieting your mind and just remove it entirely out of sheer will. That's a good skill to develop. Sometimes, even the best of us, I'm not the best of us, but those of us who's been doing it a long time, there are days we just can't do it. So it's good to be able to replace it. That would be my advice there. Because you still do need to focus on your meditation. I've been situations where they could look insane. See, Small bean, why would one work with the dark fae? It depends on the person. I'll be honest. Hard for me to specifically look at the dark fae or the winter court or the summer court or the light fae. See, people have this weird idea that the dark fae are mean and the light fae are sweet, nice, and innocent. That is bullshit. The fae are mischievous little bitches. They really are. The summer court and the winter court are equally dangerous. The fae are not safe entities. They are not. They're not necessarily dangerous. The problem is they view everything differently. For them, you will actually see, like fae in the summer court, like I actually saw it this summer. There were two of them playing as a practical joke. One chopped the other one's arm off very, very painfully. To them, this is a practical joke. It is humorous. It's messed up to us. So they view things through a very, very different lens. The problem comes, humans expect entities to view the world the way we view it. That's our hubris. And we can't comprehend that these things don't view things as we do. And instead of trying to understand the entity, we try to demand the entity understand us. It's like you must conform to what I think. You must conform to what I believe. You must view the world as I believe and as I do things. Well, to the fae, they're going to basically tell you to F off. And they don't care what you think. So if you're not willing to actually work with the fae on the fae's terms because they're about you. Now, that being said, however, they are very in tune to some of those primal currents. And that is a good thing. They are also very, very in tune to magic itself. They're not the nature entities people have made them out. The unseelie. This entire planet could go nuclear. They won't care. They won't lose an ounce of sleep because they'll just find a different spot to go play in. They're not native to our realm. They don't care about this realm other than it's interesting. That's it. It's interesting. They visit. It's interesting. They like it. It's pretty, but they're not wanting to protect it. They don't care. If we blew this rock up, they won't lose sleep. So, because they view it as our responsibility. And it is. But they do have an amazing amount of things they can teach us and an amazing amount of wisdom if you can navigate the bullshit. And I do call it that. And I call it that as someone who works with them. But you notice I don't mention the fae as any of my main practices because honestly, that is one of the practices I do it out of curiosity and, for specific reasons of specific research and whatnot for myself. Also dealing with some astral travel and soul travel things, and to try and learn things about other areas over here from a different perspective. But it's hard to say, like, I can't think of a problem where I've been like, well, Odin can't help me. Well, can't think of a spell. Well, the dragons can't help me. My last option is the fae. I cannot ever think of a thing where I thought the fae was the best answer. I really cannot. And that may sound insane, especially considering how chaotic / dangerous the fae can be. Now, that's not to say all fae out there are just little murder bots. Some of them full are. Like, read red caps. Red caps exist on both the Seelie and Unseelie. They're just there. And that is their whole shtick. They are nothing but little murder bots. That's all they do. But there are some that would be more to the childish side. The problem is they are childish, but they still have that same mischievous lack of understanding of humanity. And they may not understand what is dangerous and hurtful to you. So even though they don't mean it malevolently, it can still get out of hand from time to time. So consider that. Let's see. Pipe Smoking Heathen. Thank you again very much for the super chat, my man. The fae are scarier to me than any dark spirit. At least with dark spirits, what you absolutely. People have asked me what is the scariest entity I have ever worked with, And I have worked with some screwy stuff. Many of you have heard the horror stories of the cliff off. Well, to this day, I will place the Fae as the scariest thing I've worked with because, like you said, you might not know what you're getting into. And yes, I have made many mistakes with the Fae. A few of those mistakes, there's no doubt, there's no way out. It will haunt me the rest of my life. It's a guaranteed. Those mistakes are a permanent scar upon my life, period. And part of me actually wonders if it's a permanent scar past life too. So yeah, I don't really go around saying Faye's fine, go work with them. So there's that. Drum Witch, hello, Merry Christmas to you too. Mugs up. Everybody, Jade and Gree are throwing clocks at me. That means it's time to get ready to wrap up here. So let's see if I got any that I can knock out quickly. Merry Christmas, respectfully. Hey, you say Merry Christmas, you say Happy Hanukkah, you say Happy Kwanzaa, you say Happy Festivus for the rest of us. I don't care. You're wishing me a happy something. I call that good. We all good. You know what I mean? That's the way we view it here. Holiday is a holiday. The spirit of the holiday, that's what matters. I don't care what you call it. So I'll mugs up a Merry Christmas any day. Actually, I say Merry Christmas more than anything. And truth be told, that's because like the PC culture said, you can't say Merry Christmas. Bullshit. Watch me. Tell me I can't say it and I will say it. Till then it was, Happy Holidays. And then they said, you can't say Merry Christmas. Watch me. Actually, my Santa hat, I actually bought that too because they said, you can't call it a Christmas hat no more. Well, time to go buy one. I'm an asshole. I don't know if anybody knows that. I think you all do on this channel by now. But I'm a contrary little asshole. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you. That was as perfect as always. Good night, Drake. Good night, Violet Star. Have a wonderful. That's why I don't say respectfully. Faye mistakes, new video. I have to think on that one, Immortal. Some of those mistakes that I've made are, I don't know if they should be shared publicly on a YouTube channel. I really don't. But I see your point, and that might be a good idea. Let's see. So yes. Let's see. I almost died. Don't die on me. Even if it's in laughter, don't die on me. Don't die on me. Don't die on me. All right, everybody. Looks like we're good to go. Everybody, you all have a fantastic week. Do consider checking out the Locals Community channel and supporting the channel so we can not be tied to any reliability on ad revenue and we can share more content. Because right now, we kind of got to dip, dive, dodge, duck, and bob and weave around some stuff. But that's okay. YouTube does do a good job of giving me a place to share, so I ain't knocking that. I follow the rules. I play nice, that kind of stuff. But also have a wonderful holiday in case I don't get to see, in case you guys don't make the live streams before the holidays. And actually, when is Christmas, people? When is that? That is on a Monday. So I do not know if we'll have a Christmas Eve stream yet. I will say this, though. I honestly think we will. I really think we're going to have a Christmas Eve stream. But other people may veto me on that point. So keep your eyes out. I'll try and keep you posted if I can. If so, hey, I'll see y'all Christmas Eve. I'll see you all every Sunday up until then also. But if you can't make it, you get busy with family and you can't make it, I understand that. Have a fantastic holiday season. All right. Good night, everyone. Take care.